former Vice President Kamala Harris has sat down with Late Show host Stephen Colbert in her first interview since losing the US election. Now, the interview was really about promoting her new book, 107 Days, which we'll get into in a moment. But Kamala finally answered a key question many of us have been asking for months now, and it's an important one. Who is leading the Democratic Party?
Who's leading the Democratic Party? I'm just curious.
There are lots of leaders. And
there's generally a leader of the Democratic Party. You know, like, oh, that's the leader of the Democratic Party. Who comes to mind?
I think there are a lot of, I'm not going to go through names because then I'm going to leave somebody out and then I'm going to hear about it. But let me say this. I think it is a mistake for us who want to figure out how to get out and through this and get out of it, to put it on the shoulders of any one person. It's really on all of our shoulders.
That's right, there's no one. The party is such a mess. It's on all of us. We're apparently all leading it along with AOC, Gavin Newsom, maybe even Hunter Biden. But as we know, Stephen Colbert was recently axed and his show will finish up next year because it was losing a crazy amount of money and people have stopped watching it, which might have something to do with his severe case of Trump derangement syndrome.
Just less than a year ago, things were very joyful. There was actually a lot of hope associated with your campaign, and there was a lot of promise that we might actually not only keep this absolute barbarian out of the White House, but also we might actually make progress as a country with the type of people that we wanted to see in office and a younger, more vital, revived political consciousness in America.
Barbarian. And of course, he had to say joy. Can someone remind Stephen Colbert of the progress the United States is making? The results are everywhere. Even CNN can't deny that Trump's administration is the most influential this century.
The Donald Trump administration is arguably the most influential this century and probably as well dating back a good portion of the last century as well. Love it, like it, lump it. Trump is remaking in the United States of America. Let's talk about tariffs first, right?
Well, let's get back to Kamala Harris, who's on her book tour promoting 107 Days, which is not about her time as Vice President of the United States, where she was running the country with Joe Biden for 4 years. It was about the 107 days of her disastrous election campaign, which just tells you everything, doesn't it? Just how little she achieved as Vice President, and despite burning through $1.5 billion in a few months and all of those celebrity endorsements during the campaign, more Americans voted for Donald Trump. But I might be being too harsh. Maybe her book might have some brilliant insights, something we could all learn from her.
And that's me on a call. So you'll see my phone is actually on my lap. And you know, I know I've been teased about this, but I like these kinds of ear pods that have the thing, because I've served on the Senate Intelligence Committee. I have been in classified briefings, and I'm telling you, like, don't be on the train using your ear pods and thinking somebody can't listen to your conversation. I'm just telling you, that's a little bit more secure.
Well, wait for it, because this is her big plug, teasing you with the best parts about her book without giving all the details away so she can make those sales.
I mean, there's a lot of personal stuff in the book. I mean, poor Dougie.
You're blowing the lid off of Doug? What's going on?
For example, my birthday's in October. The election's in November. You see where I'm going. And Dougie kind of dropped the ball on my big birthday.
He didn't get you anything?
Oh, you have to read the book.
All right. Just tell me the page. Tell me the page.
Joining us now is comedian and host of Blaze TV's Primetime with Alex Stein. Alex, great to see you again. What did you make of Kamala Harris's book promotion on Stephen Colbert's show? You know, she couldn't answer when she was asked about who's leading the Democratic Party, but we know she's still upset with her husband, Doug, for not spoiling her on her birthday last year. And her advice to everyone is to not wear a pair of AirPods.
Well, 107 days, I don't think will sell 107 copies. And for her to throw her husband under the bus, I mean, think about it like this. She spent, what, $150 million, or excuse me, $150 billion on her campaign. Is that what it was? What was it? And she was still $100 million in debt. Don't quote me on it. I don't know her girl math. But of course, she's not going to get
amount of money.
But I'm saying he's not going to get her a gift because she's spending all this money. What is he supposed to buy her? I mean, literally, there's nothing that he could buy her that would compete with all the money that she wasted on her campaign. So it's such an egregious amount. I actually feel bad for Doug. And I'm sure he's actually so happy that she didn't win so that he could probably get a breather, because being the first fella would not be something that I would want to go down in history as the first guy doing. I'll tell you that much.
Well, this promotion of her book, it's still going, and she's posted this to TikTok.
Everyone thinks you've been kicking back, drinking margaritas on the beach. But really, you've been hard at work writing a book, meeting with leaders, thinking about the future of our country. Who said that?
She's still cringe. Does it just make you want to run out and buy this book?
No, I mean, like I said, this book is not going to be popular whatsoever. And I don't know why she would even want to relive this humiliation of a campaign and go on this media tour trying to sell it. Because really, like you said, why not talk about her time as vice president? But, in The View and anybody, asking her any tough questions when, they asked her to criticize her, time in office, she just couldn't even talk about one thing that she would have changed when Joe Biden was president. So it shows you she's just a phony. She doesn't even have a good example of her time as vice president. So now she has to write about her horrible failed campaign where $1 billion, just money was just wasted.
Let's talk about Sydney Sweeney. And the woke left are still having a meltdown over her American Eagle ad. And now we're standing by for Liberals to lose it even more after a gun training company posted a video of the actress showing off her shooting skills. Look at this.
Did not expect this for your first day.
Hey, eyes up here.
Wow.
9:21.
Oh my God, girl! Was it your first time? That was really good.
You're going dog nuts. I mean,
Ready, girl?
Yes.
It's also been revealed that Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, and Donald Trump was asked about this.
Actress Sydney Sweeney, it came out this weekend that she was a registered Republican. Any thoughts on that?
That who was?
Sydney Sweeney, she's like a very hot actress right now.
She's a registered Republican?
Yes.
Oh, now I love her ad. Is that right? Is Sydney Sweeney? You'd be surprised at how many people are Republicans. That's what I wouldn't have known, but I'm glad you told me that. If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Such a classic Donald Trump response, but I think he makes a good point. You'd be surprised how many people are registered Republicans.
No, you nailed it. I mean, seriously, there's so many people that have to be closeted Republicans because of fear of cancellation. And that's not, just a saying. There's real world application to people being canceled for having a conservative viewpoint, especially in Hollywood, in the modeling industry that's so incredibly progressive. So this is a win for the conservatives. Sydney Sweeney right now is as hot as hotcakes when it comes to, her marketing campaign for American Eagle. I think is up 20%. Their stock value is just skyrocketed. So it just shows you that the people that support Sydney Sweeney actually go out and spend money and support these companies. So I think now this will be more companies will follow suit, seeing the success of American Eagle.
I think you're absolutely right. But the woke left will not let this go. Here is Sydney Sweeney being heckled.
Stop the ad! That is being racist!
But Donald Trump is continuing his support of Sydney Sweeney. He posted, Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, has the hottest ad out there. It's for American Eagle, and the jeans are flying off the shelves, to your point, Alex. And he goes on to say that the tide has seriously turned. Being woke is for for losers. Being Republican is what you want to be. And of course, he ends it with thank you for your attention to this matter. But, you know, I think that's a Trump style of making a point about woke is for losers. But it certainly seems that the woke era is pretty dead.
No, and it has a feeling of like nostalgia, because there was a time when Abercrombie and American Eagle were the coolest clothing companies out there, and that was kind of like it was the good old days before we realized it was the good old days. And I think that's a quote from The Office, you know, and you know, it's a little cliche, but it's true. So seeing American Eagle have a resurgence like this, it feels kind of good in a weird way, in a world where we have to take the small wins when we can get them. You know, it feels like a win.
Now, Texas Governor Greg Abbott has ordered the arrest of Texas House Democrats after a warrant was issued by Texas House Speaker, and dozens of Texas Democrats fled the state in an attempt to block a Trump-backed redistricting vote. Greg Abbott called on the Department of Public Safety to arrest the, quote, delinquent Texas House Democrats. Can you tell us a bit more about what's going on here?
Well, you know, I was there, right? I was actually there in Austin today at 3 p.m. and they locked the doors, and they said that if these, you know, representatives didn't get back to the Capitol, that they would be basically held in contempt and they would be subject to arrest. And so I really hope that they actually follow through. Now, some politicians are going to be able to get away with it. They're going to be able to say that they had some sort of, you know, actual valid excuse. But really what's happening is they're stopping the redistricting. They don't want to vote on the redistricting because it takes away, you know, a few of the liberal seats, which is good for Texas. So that's what they're doing. That's why they're running away, and that's why they're not there to approve this redistricting. So it's all just a political theater. But I'll admit this though, it did kind of have a weird vibe when you saw the politicians, you know, gleefully happy that these other politicians were about to be arrested. That felt kind of weird, and I don't know. It kind of felt like a moral conundrum at the same time. But I'm actually very happy that the conservatives held the leftists and the progressives, you know, feet to the fire, because they need to, you know, this is a derelict of duty. They should be there voting on this redistricting, but because they didn't have a quorum, they weren't able to approve it. And, you know, it's just caused a big problem at the state capitol.
Okay. Alex Stein, thanks so much for joining us. Great to talk to you.
Always a pleasure. Talk to you again soon.